Hello, my name is Allison Palacios. I'm from Houston, Texas. I graduated from the University of Houston's Hilton College with a degree in hotel and restaurant management and a minor in beverage management and marketing. I have worked in the travel industry for around 12, 13 years. I started off as a receptionist at a travel agency, then worked my way up in the company to online editorial assistant. And then right before graduating, I wanted to break into the hotel industry. So I started off as a barista at a Westin property. And then I applied to Marriott's leadership development program, which is called the Voyage program. And that's for recent hospitality graduates to go in as entry level managers at a hotel. So then I got accepted into that program, and I was the rooms operations Voyager at a JW Marriott. And I was essentially assistant manager over the housekeeping department. And that was the hardest job I've ever had, but also the most rewarding. As a hotel manager, you do have to work at least 50 hours a week. So that takes a lot of your time, and so you spend a lot of time with your associates. You get to know them, get to know their weaknesses and their strengths, get to know who works better with who, and all of that. So I got to learn a lot from that experience in regards to leadership and just motivation and everything that goes into what goes into managing a large team, basically. So I was over the laundry department, the housekeepers, the housemen, over, the hotel's public spaces, making sure the pool's clean, making sure the fitness center is up to par, making sure, that the guests' rooms are being cleaned the way that they're supposed to be cleaned. So it's just a lot of that goes on in the housekeeping department. Then after that, I went on to be executive assistant to the general manager of a St. Regis property. That was more of being the representative of the general manager when it comes to the employees of the hotel and the guests, being more of like the face of the hotel, sending guests amenities on behalf of the general manager and notes and things like that. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, my position there was eliminated. So I thought that even before that, I always wanted to come back to communications in some way or another. So I think this is a great opportunity for me to kind of redirect my career into more of a communications role. So I look forward to just learning so much in this program when it comes to that. My Clifton strengths, my number one was restorative, and basically it's dealing at dealing with problems, that I'm good at figuring out what is wrong and resolving it. And I think that goes back to being a manager of a hotel, over a large department like housekeeping. You do have to think quick on your feet when it comes to resolving guest issues. You have to be able to, bring that, problem right around and kind of turn it around full circle, so that way the guests, you restore the guest confidence in not only you but also the property. My number two is responsibility, and taking ownership of what I say I will do, and committed to stable values such as honesty and loyalty. And I totally agree with that. I'm very big on loyalty. I'm very big with honesty. So, and I also appreciate not only, that I take responsibility over what I say I'm going to do, but also that other people, take responsibility as well. So that's what I look for too. My number three was individualization. So that I'm intrigued with the unique qualities of each person. have a gift for figuring out how different people can work together productively. And again, I think that goes back to my experience as a manager, is that, I like to get to know people on a more personal level. I like to know what their strengths and their weaknesses are. I like to know their backgrounds. I like to know where they come from. I'm just a very curious person when it comes to that. So yeah, I think that's a good one. Number 4 for me was empathy. Um, Basically, being in the hospitality industry, you have to have empathy. There's no question about that. Otherwise, you'd be in the wrong industry. You have to have a heart for people and a heart to, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and that goes a lot with, resolving guest issues, resolving, even your employees, you know, um problems and things like that. And I think I've always had that ever since I can remember. I've always been able to put myself in somebody else's shoes and just kind of think of, how would I want to be treated in that situation? How would I want somebody to take care of me in that situation? So that's a great one for me. Number 5, input. It says here, I have a need to collect and archive, may accumulate information, ideas, artifacts, or even relationships. I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, for me, it's, like I said, I like to develop relationships with people. Like, when it comes to networking too, I think it's very important to kind of build, relationships upon relationships. And, I do very much, I think that's what it means. I'm hoping that I'm interpreting it the right way. I'm not sure, but anyway, some interesting tidbits about myself is that I enjoy musical theater so much. I grew up singing in choir. I grew up singing in church, being in the praise and worship leader at church. Unfortunately, we've had to kind of put that on the back burner for now because, being in the hotel industry, that took so much of my time. But now that I have more time, and still with COVID, it's kind of like, you kind of want to go where people are, but you kind of don't. But anyway, so yeah, I really enjoy singing. I enjoy musical theater. I enjoy going out to restaurants and trying new food and figuring out, like, okay, what's the best, like, restaurant to go to for this kind of food or that kind of food. So I like discovering, new restaurants here in Houston. Especially here in Houston, we have a great, restaurant scene here going on. I also enjoy going to breweries. Having that minor in beverage, I did have to take a course on alcohol production. So I think taking that course made me appreciate, how alcohol is made a little bit more. But anyway, that is it. So I'm so looking forward to getting to know everybody and learning more about communications and just getting so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this semester.